All right. So the final theorist we are going to be looking at from the development communication paradigm perspectives is Everett Rogers. You must have heard this name. Everett Rogers has given a very important theory called diffusion of innovations theory, where he's talking about how in a society innovation slowly diffuse from one step to another, as people start slowly adopting to new innovations. New innovations are not just new technologies. Please don't get confused. Innovations in scientific terms mean technologies, but when Everett Rogers talks about it, Everett Rogers is also looking at innovations from the perspective of ideas, new ideas, innovative ideas as well. So he basically divides the entire population into 5 categories: innovators, early adopters, early majority, late majority, and laggards. He says every society has these 5 categories of people. Right? Innovators are the people who are crazy about new innovations, who are always experimenting, creating new things, and when new things come, they want to grab it, they want to try it first. These are the kind of people who you see who are doing YouTube video reviews of new mobile phones. There's that fellow called Geeky Ranjit, one very popular Indian technological goods reviewer. Now this fellow reviews a phone before the phone reaches the Indian markets. Like, there are these cell phone companies that send him their phones for him to use even before they launch the phone in the market. He uses them for like a day or two, then he does a review of these mobile devices, all sorts of devices. Actually, he reviews video gaming consoles, he reviews televisions, smart TVs, he reviews every damn piece of technology that you can think of, right? So these are the group of innovators. Right after innovators comes the early adopters. These guys are the people who read reviews and stuff and who go ahead and buy a new technology. These are the richer ones in the society, right? These people don't want to give reviews and stuff, they just want to buy these new technologies and be using them before the rest of them use. When iPhone releases their new phones, there is one group of people who get the phone before the phone is released, but there's another set of people who stand in the queue one full day or like one entire night in the cold shivering atmosphere. They wait in the queues just to grab their first piece of phone. These are all the early adopter losers, right? So these people buy their phones, they start talking to people about how cool the phone is, and they probably like the technology, dislike the technology, whatever, based on how these small group of people have used the cell phone. Another bigger set of people, based on critical reviews, thinking, adjusting, savings and everything, they buy the technological device a little later in the society. This is a bigger group of people, that's why it's called early majority. Then comes the late majority. Late majority are the people who buy it much towards the end, like when everybody started to talk about it and every other person you meet has like a nice fancy phone, like that OnePlus phone, right? Everybody has a OnePlus phone these days because of the kind of features they offer. Now, after maybe 2-3 years of having released that phone, I'm like, finally I think I need to buy myself a better phone than my Redmi phone, so I'm going to invest in a better piece of phone. So I go ahead and buy myself a OnePlus. Then I have now become the late majority category, right? And the last category is the laggards. Laggards are people who just don't want to buy. They're like, screw the society, let them go ahead and buy whatever smartphone they want. I'm happy with my Nokia 1100 phone. I can make phone calls, I can send messages, I don't need the internet, I'm happy. So they are very, very against the whole concept of innovations, right? So that is the laggards. So I hope the 5 categories are clear to you: innovators, early adopters, early majority, late majority, and the laggards. Now, if you plot the way in which these people buy these goods, you will see a bell curve, right? The bell curve, please Google the bell curve and type Everett Rogers bell curve, you'll get the curve. It's a check on Google Images. It's a nice little graph that looks like a bell. That's why it's called the bell curve, and you'll understand how the graph works. Now, apart from these 5 stages, 5 different phases in which diffusion happens, he also talks about 5 aspects of how diffusion of innovation works, right? The first aspect is awareness. Diffusion has to happen. You need to make people aware that you have a brand called OnePlus, and you need to tell them, make them aware of what kind of features they have when they buy this phone. The second thing is interest. Get them interested in your product. Like, tell them that you need to be interested in this because it's cool. So that's another way to do it. The third one is to evaluate. So once you release this thing, get people to give feedback about your new technology, new idea, and ask them to evaluate it, and give the evaluation to the audiences. Show them that these are the comments that people have given in the form of feedback, and put like, the best phone I've ever owned, Amitabh Bachchan, one hell of technology, Ayushman Khurrana. Like that, give them comments that people have given. People will be impressed by that shit. Use brand ambassadors if you want. So who will evaluate your product and do it. Another thing important is the trial, right? Let them try this phone. Give the opportunity to try this phone. You don't want to just go buy a car, right? You want to go drive it, sit in it, see how comfortable it is, go for a quick drive, check out the features, check out everything, and then buy it. So trial is the best way to give people a new innovation. And the last thing is to adopt. Give them the chance to use the technology fully. Like, there are a lot of people who would like to really you want to give them the feeling of what it feels like at home, right? So one of the things that you've probably looked at is, if you've gone to these furniture shops, there is a TV, there is everything to just give you the feeling of home. You have like a table in front, there is a flower vase and everything, and you just sit comfortably. Like, I have gone furniture shopping with one of my friends, and both of us, we sat in this home shop in a couch pretending like we are a married couple, and we were talking. We were like, can you change the channel, honey? And you want to get the feeling of home. You give them that feeling of what it feels like to own the new innovation, and you're set. So this is Everett Rogers. With this, guys, we are done with the syllabus. Add in PR. I'm going to send you the PDF file which contains all the different definitions and all the jargon that you need to know. And I'm going to make another video for you all tomorrow morning, where I'm going to give you quick tips on how to deal with the paper so you can clear the NET exam in your first attempt.